Today, my friend, we are doing a full Kajabi masterclass, which means we are diving into every aspect of this powerful platform so that you can see the full ins and outs, every feature. No tab will be left untouched today, and you can really see if this is the right kind of investment for you and see how you can use Kajabi to its fullest potential to really grow your own online business. Timestamps are in the description. Let's dive into it. By the way, if you want to take advantage of a free 30-day trial of Kajabi to play with the platform yourself, you can use my link profityourknowledge.com/Kajabi. This is an affiliate link, so I get a small percentage of your investment in Kajabi, but there's no extra cost to you compared to if you went through Kajabi's website yourself. All this does is simply support me and this channel for referring someone to Kajabi. But when you sign up with my link, I'm going to give you instant access to a course I created called Kajabi Kickstart, which is going to help you set up and launch your online business with Kajabi in that first 30 days. On top of that, when you're inside of Kajabi Kickstart, you will have access to a free 45-minute coaching session with me where you and I both get to deep dive into your Kajabi account, and I will be there to answer any questions you have about Kajabi, marketing, or even making your first sale with the platform. All of this is free, and you can get instant access by going to profityourknowledge.com/Kajabi or clicking the link down in the description. Without further ado, let's dive into Kajabi. Now, as soon as you dive into Kajabi, you're going to see on the dashboard your performance over the last 30 days. They just welcome you. It gives you your opt-ins, sales, new customers, and then any comments you have from inside of your courses. The first tab I want to dive into is the settings tab down in the bottom corner. This is where you're going to really set up your entire business. If you're just getting into Kajabi, you're a new user, then I'd highly recommend hanging out in here. I have different videos where I talk about this, but focus on like setting up your domain name, your payment integrations, your site details, and that kind of stuff. This is your basic account settings. I'm not going to dive into these because this is like personal information, you know, like my billing, all my personal billing information, that kind of stuff. But this is where you're going to find any of that. If you need to update any of that stuff, it's all down here under account settings, like how Kajabi can get in contact with you, your email, etc., notifications and privacy. One thing that I will share is the Kajabi access right here. When you are a new Kajabi user, you can click here and then you have success sessions. I think we only get a limited amount of these. If you know actually the correct amount, I believe you get like 1 or 2 calls when you are new to Kajabi of these one-on-one coaching sessions where a customer success manager is going to sit down and speak with you on Zoom, which is pretty awesome. So if you didn't know that you had this feature available, it's down in the settings tab under Kajabi Access. But the goal of this call is to get to know your business and then learn about what your objectives are. And then they're going to work with you to strategize actionable next steps on Kajabi. What I did when I first did my success sessions, when I worked with them, was I got my domain set up because that was like, you know, usernames and all these different like server names and things like that. And that was pretty confusing for me. So like you click on domain is where you set up your whole custom domain and everything, connect a domain, a subdomain to your Kajabi site. So yeah, that's what I like to spend that Kajabi access call on, was just like those real granular technical things, but they'll help you with just like coming up with business ideas and, you know, your goal of what you're trying to achieve, creating a course, if it's your first course or whatever, which is really cool. Okay, labs is another cool little tab that we can look at. This is where you get to try new features before they've officially released. Kajabi's always working at creating a better user experience and adding cool features for the Kajabi user, which could be you unless you're already a Kajabi user. So you can have like marketing overview, page and email builder, and these things change over time. Kajabi's in the works of a lot of cool stuff. So I have a lot of cool videos coming up about like customizing your Kajabi app and really, really cool stuff, new AI tools and things like that coming up. But this is just a cool little tab to kind of play with. You can upgrade your entire mobile app, which is awesome. Change out the colors however you please. I have a video where I walk you through how to set up your entire like app and have the app and how it kind of works and looks and all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, you can change up, you know, a little message, whatever it is that you want to do, and your mobile icon as well that shows up from within the app. Very, very cool. Email templates. This is a great feature. I'd recommend playing around with this, specifically around like cart abandonment. If you're doing assessments or quizzes, then play around with that in here. You can customize all of these different emails, send a test email preview in the browser. Oh, it's important that when you do this, you don't mess with the liquid watermark, or the liquid object is what it's called. That's going to make sure that the right assessment title or the right checkout page gets connected to the right, from like when someone leaves an assessment, ties to the correct assessment or quiz. Okay. So just don't mess with those. You can play with all the text around them. But yeah, affiliate announcement, affiliate conversion notification, they're all the same, where you just click on it and then you have like this watermark. Again, don't mess with this, but you can play with this text that's not inside the brackets. Pro tip. Had to learn that one the hard way. I was like, why is this not working? Okay, community connect request, course completion certificate. What do you want that to say? Double opt-in. You get to change out all of this kind of stuff, all the emails that automatically get sent. So if you're doing double opt-ins, you can keep it default. They're all default, but if you really want to customize the look and feel of your brand and have a more personal touch to it, this is a place where you're going to want to play with it to make sure that every part of your customer journey and system is really working for them. Even if like a user cancels a subscription, it's like you can change up the message. You know, you can, if they pause a subscription or whatever it is, member welcome email. Okay, quiz completion, quiz graded, coaching session added, canceled, rescheduled, scheduled, reminder. You can customize all of that stuff. And then we also have the branding section right here where you can change out like your main button color for your emails, the main font color if you want, and then upload your logo as well. So every time you send one of these emails from these templates or create a new email, it's automatically going to have those different branding settings set inside of it, so you don't have to really keep thinking about it, which is really cool. You have drip settings, so you can customize like what times your modules drip out if you have a drip course. You can also change this from inside the product section, which I can show you in a little bit. But yeah, like your marketing settings, this is just kind of like your address and basic information like that. Okay, checkout settings. I think you get the picture. Your blog settings, site details is important. This is like how your website shows up in search results. If you want to have the Kajabi branding with it, if you're on the growth and pro plan, you can switch this off. But if you're on the basic plan, it's going to show powered by Kajabi on it. Okay, so just something to consider, but you can decide if you want to keep it regardless. It's totally up to you. Customer payments, third-party integrations. All this stuff is handled in the settings tab. If you want to add ConvertKit or ActiveCampaign or MailChimp, or Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel, if you're running ads on Facebook ads, ClickFunnels, Zapier, whatever it is, you can play inside of here. If you can't see one of these, that's where you use like a tool that you like to use. It's not connected here. These are just kind of like the common ones that Kajabi recommends to people, and they already have preset because they're just common. You can always set up your Zapier account and then use Zapier, connect that to Kajabi, and then you can have whatever apps you want because Zapier has like every single app you could ever think of. That's pretty much it. I mean, those are like the big ones that I would say around here in terms of the setting tab. Next, I wanted to show you the help and feedback tab. So this is really helpful when you need help. Obviously, you can visit the help center, which is great. Ask any questions you have about whatever you want to learn about Kajabi, and they have plenty of tutorials and articles that walk you through this. I think the help center is really helpful. The tutorials are super short, but you could type in something like product creation, courses and lessons, and module overview, and they have little videos where they walk you through exactly how to do inside of Kajabi. Okay. So I think these are really helpful. They have helped me a ton. I get to learn a lot about how to use the platform just by watching these different videos. Okay. On top of that, you can contact support. You can send them an email. You can join a live webinar. They offer daily educational and Q&A sessions that can help you master Kajabi. So you can view the schedule, and then from here, you can join their workshops, which is pretty awesome. Okay, Q&A, recap, finding your following, keys to copywriting. Like, this is all stuff that Kajabi's constantly doing to help you as a creator and help you be successful, which is pretty amazing. Live chat, super awesome. You can just start a new conversation and you say, I need help. And then they might ask you or send you something to like one of the articles that they have. But if you just say like, I want to talk with someone, then they'll get you in touch with a real person, which is pretty awesome. This feature is only on the growth plan, just FYI, growth plan and above. It's not on the basic plan, the 24/7 chat support. So just something to consider, but it is super, super helpful, especially when you need help with like that real technical stuff, like setting up your domain name or something like that. Next, we're going to dive into the products tab. So we click on products. You can see all products. You have courses, coaching, community, or podcast. These are a couple of like dummy products that I have made. I'm in my partner's program right now, just so I can play around with this and not worry about messing anything up on my actual end. We'll go over to new product and we'll start with a course. So with all of these, it'll show you a little description of what's entailed with this and then the different features you have inside of here. So with a course, we can click get started. And then you can decide whatever you want to call this, the name of your course. Down here, you can use this information you've put in with your title and your brief description. And Kajabi's AI will actually create a sample course outline based on that information that you put in. I'm not going to do that right now. It seems unnecessary. When you hit continue, you can upload an image. It doesn't matter right now. It was just a demonstration. We have paid or free. It's totally up to you. If you want to make money, let's make it paid. You can decide if you want it to be multi-pay, require several monthly payments, subscription, or a one-time payment. And then you can decide on whatever price you want to call your course. Whatever price you want to price your course at. You can do whatever price you want. And then here's a new kind of feature where you can let customers pay what they want. So customers can give you any amount that they want over a minimum price that you set. Could be helpful if you're doing like a beta test, like, hey, if you got value from this course, it's free. You can pay some money if you want to. Okay, and then pick your payment provider. You will have to set up Stripe and PayPal. Those are the only two payment providers that Kajabi uses, and that's in that settings tab that we went through. But if you want to accept credit cards and debit cards and have people put in that information and save their information, Stripe is what you're going to need to create an account for, but that's free. They just take a small percentage from every sale that you make. When you're all done, we can hit save and finish. And then here we can build out our whole course outline. You can add content inside of the different modules that you have. So a module is a collection of lessons. If we want to add a new lesson, you can call it whatever you want. And then all of these are going to be on draft, but you can publish each one of them. You can also decide if you want to have drip content right here. So if it's a draft, if you're working on it, if you're adding a new module to a mini course or something, making it a beefier course, keep it on draft. And then when you're ready, publish it. Or you can lock modules. And you can also create a drip. And when you do that, you can decide how many days after someone enrolls, you want them to have access to a new module. Okay, so if you created a new module up here, we'll call this test, create module. You can add a picture and a description as well. But this is a collection of lessons. The lessons are the actual content that people watch. Hit publish. Now we have this different one. So as soon as people, if this is a drip course, as soon as people buy your course and they get access to your course, they can have access to this first module and set of lessons. But then let's say you have another module or two other modules. You can set this as a drip and decide you want this to come out a week after somebody enrolls. So as soon as they enroll, they get that first set of lessons. Drip content after the enrollment, 7 days. Okay. And if you created another module that you wanted 7 days after that, you would have to write 14 days and so on and so forth. Okay. Something to consider when you're making drip content. But let's look at the actual lesson. If you want to edit a lesson, you can change out the thumbnail, decide if you want comments to be visible, hidden, or locked. You can always delete a lesson in here. Download files if you want to have audio files, PDF slides, worksheets, whatever you want to add, you can add in here. And then you can do automations as well inside of your lessons, which is pretty cool. So when the lesson is completed, the name of this lesson automatically sets that. Then what do you want to have happen? You can grant an offer, revoke an offer, deactivate from an offer. You can subscribe them to a new email sequence. Maybe that starts to offer a different product and get a lot more sophisticated. As people are progressing through this course, you start offering a whole different course. Okay, you can get pretty ninja with that. Unsubscribe from an email sequence. Register to an event, deregister from the event, add a tag, which is really helpful. If you do that, you can add any kind of tag you want, like they've completed halfway on a course or something like that. It's pretty cool. You could send them an email. You could send a single-use coupon. This is helpful at the end of a lesson or the end of a course. Let's say someone finishes your entire course. The last lesson, if they finish that, you could send a single-use coupon that says, hey, like, because the fact that you have finished this course and you actually went through this and did the content, I'm going to give you 50% off any other product of mine. Just use this coupon code. And then you can send this over to them. If you click on that, it automatically keeps the coupon code. Again, this is those brackets. We don't want to mess with those, but the text that's not in brackets, we can play around with. So it'll send the coupon code and you can customize this whole message as you want. Okay. If you are on the growth plan, you can add conditions, which here we have when something happens, then you want this to happen. So when the lesson's completed, then we want to send a coupon in this example. A condition is adding an if to that. So when, then if. You only want to do this if, a contact was added in the last X amount of time or before the last X amount of time. Only to healthy contacts, email deliverability, assessment filters, product filters, if they don't own any of these products. Okay. So it's like if you added them to a sequence, if they finished a course, you wanted to subscribe them to a new email sequence that offered a new product of yours, you want to make sure that they don't own any of those products already. Otherwise it's pointless. Why would you pitch me something I already own? You know what I mean? So we can play around with these. A lot of different, has any of these tags, has all of these tags, doesn't have tags. You can even do default field filters, like if their name contains this, if their email contains this, if they're from this country. Okay, you can get pretty sophisticated. So those are like the advanced automations. All right. And then, you can change up your lesson here. You can decide if you want video, audio, pick a file, none. If you just want it to be written text, you can open this and you can say, hey friends, something like that. Add an image, insert links. You get a bunch of different formats and stuff, headings, bold, italicize, all that jazz. And you can even do a little source code as well if you wanted to. Totally optional, fully customizable. You can just hit save. And if you ever want to preview, just click right here and it's going to pull up. This is like the default course premiere is what it's called. But you can fully customize this as well. So I'll show you that right now. If we go back to courses, we'll click on test. That's the one we're playing with. And then up here, you have a bunch of different tabs on how you can customize. So we'll hit customize. And that's where automatically it's set on the Premier product. We'll go over to install templates and you get a handful of different templates. You can also upload templates as well if you buy it from like a third-party site, but I don't know any third-party sites. But I know people do this. I just can't think of one off the top of my head. So there are ways that you can buy other Kajabi templates from people. And I think if you check out like Jiffy courses online, they probably have more that you can upload if you buy them as a standalone template. But these are all the included ones. I really like the momentum theme. If you preview it, it shows you everything. You get these little cards on the side. You can add text. So if you have like a Facebook group or something, you could say, hey, join our Facebook group. Over here, it'll have all the different lessons. And what's cool about this theme is that it shows you all of the lessons on the side. Or you can go to categories and it'll show you the lessons in here. And then it categorizes the different modules that you have, which is pretty cool. You can also have announcements and you can customize all of this as well. So when I click on this, you can click on this one, whatever you want. This is like a gamify template, which is pretty cool. You can gamify your course. I like momentum. You come down and we'll click install template. Now what you need to notice when you're doing this is that it says Premier product. So if we don't want to have this Premier theme, we have to install this template down here, which is the momentum theme. Okay, so that's that template that I chose. And if you have multiple, you can change them up down here. But that's where you install the template, installs it down here. If you want it to actually be fully installed to where you're using it, then you want to hit activate. Now we have the momentum theme totally activated. You can click here and then we can dive into it and start to customize all of this. So you can change out the text as you please. The dashboard body is where we can add, let's say, a video, which I think is a great idea. As soon as people land in your course, you can have a video, which you can add right here. You can pick whatever the image is. So right when they land in your course, it's a welcome video. Highly recommend. You can set it on autoplay if you want. Totally up to you. Text alignment, change that up. You can also do an image as well, but I would just keep it on video. Okay, so we can do that. You can play. So the lessons you actually don't change up in here. Okay, that's where we change in the outline section. The customize is just thinking about the look and feel of this. If you go over to settings right here, you can change up the favicon, which is the little icon up in the tabs. Like if you're on YouTube, it'll show the little YouTube icon. You can put that in here and it'll give you little examples of like what size they recommend, 32 by 32 PNG. So make sure you pick that up or set that up inside of like Canva or something. Typography, you can change out the actual font of things as well for your entire course. So I personally like Poppins. This is my favorite one. Okay, so we'll hit save and you can see the text totally changes. Whole different look and feel to your online course. So I like Poppins, and you can change out the text colors as well. Color scheme, the primary, if you wanted to make it green, you can. Okay, we'll hit save. And that changes up this whole background up here. So now you have a more colorful course, whatever you want to do, the sidebar background, the accent colors, if you want it to be black. Okay, you can get it just like that changes up right here. So the dashboard, it's now black. All right, and you can kind of just play around with it, get the color scheme right, whatever you want, the general settings. If you want to change like what these actually say, like post a comment, submitting, you can change up announcements. If you want to get rid of that, you can just end it and hit save. And now you don't have the announcements tab, or you can add that. It's totally up to you. Okay, very, very customizable. But yeah, I really like this theme. So that's the one that I recommend to people. Now, what's cool too in here is that we get the offers tab, because just like creating a course, remember they asked us how much do you want to price this, what do you want it to be called? We automatically created an offer, which is a really cool like streamlined setup that they've added. Before, you had to go over to sales and create a whole new offer. So just by creating a course, it automatically creates everything. It'll show you the amount of members and who's actually inside of your course. You can search people by name or email, which is pretty nice. It takes you over to your analytics tab. And then certificates too is really cool. So if you create a new course, every course you create, you'll have to do this, turn this on if you want to have certificates, and you can upload a whole new file. I made a whole video where I go into deeper depth on this. But certificate of completion, you can decide if you want the title there and what you want it to say for all of these different fields, okay? Certificate background, you can change up the background color, include an expiration date, custom field, what include an overlay, like you can create it. You have a bit of creative opportunity here. So you can also change up those email templates. And remember, we talked about that in the settings section. If you do click here, it will take you over to email templates, and then you can go down to course completion certificate. It's already customized, but you can always click here and change what you want it to say when people actually get their certificate. What do you want the email to look and feel like? Cool. Pretty cool stuff. And then we have our settings tab as well. I'm gonna hit leave, doesn't matter. This is where you can change the title, the description of your course, the product thumbnail. And this is a cool feature where you can add live rooms. You can actually provide live videos for this session, which is pretty awesome. So if you wanna have like a monthly Q&A, you can add like every month we do Q&A. And that occurs like on Friday at 2 p.m., hit save. So now when we go back to the outline, you have monthly Q&A installed, and you can let people know if you hit go live, you can notify all the people, and you get up to 200 members inside of this where you can go live once per month for the people who are inside of your course and just do an open Q&A, get to know your audience, support them, answer their questions. It's pretty awesome. Okay. And it works a lot like Zoom. You can have a chat function in there. You can do a lot of cool stuff inside of this with the live session details and just the live sessions in general. So I think it's a great, great value add. But on top of this, you can upload multiple videos. You can even add quizzes or a sub module if you wanted to, which is pretty cool. So it's just like a mini module from within this. Okay, now we have a sub module, which is cool. So this is great if you have like main lessons that you're doing inside of your course or product, and then test in the sub module is where you can have like screen share tutorials where you go into a bit more depth, like how-to videos, okay, on like how to set up your website or use a specific tool. But this is more of just like the idea, the concept of what you're talking about is your main lesson. Okay, always hit publish, whatever you want. And then the other thing is you can add quizzes from inside of your course. You can see the results that you get from people as they like take your quiz, and you can change up the name of your quiz, the image, all this kind of stuff, set a passing grade if you want. Okay. And these are really cool, especially if you want to quiz people at the end of every module. You can have a quiz. So it tests people's knowledge to see how they're actually doing. And if they pass it, then you can open up the next module. So it makes your course a bit more serious, if you will. Okay, so all this stuff is customizable. You can change out the responses, attach images, add different options, add an explanation. Okay, lots of cool stuff that we can do with courses inside of Kajabi. Now, on top of this, we can also have a podcast. You can actually host your entire podcast inside of Kajabi. You can import a podcast or create a new podcast if you wanted. Call it whatever you want. Test, and you can decide if you want this to be public or private. So if it's private, you can have a paid podcast that's all done inside of Kajabi, which is pretty cool. Or you can have a public one. So you can have your public podcast and you can have a paid version of it as well, where you share some more insider secrets and they get different templates or whatever. They get extra resources, stuff like that. So let's say we want to do it private. If you do public, it just switches over to like setting up your podcast. You could pick whatever you want here. You can list it in serial order or episodic order. So we'll click just episodic order. Change out the primary color as you please. Okay, we'll do like blue and yellow, for example. Okay, not the prettiest, but you can play around with it and it'll show you what it says here, even the text right there, and then upload your image as well. By the way, I have a podcast, the Profit Your Knowledge podcast. You can check it out. I interview experts to help you start and grow your own online business. Lots of fun. So we can hit continue. And this is where you can decide if you want to be paid or free. Okay, so we decided public or private, totally up to you. You can have it public and actually be paid as well, or you can have it be free. You can skip for now too. And this is where you can decide if it's one time or if it's a subscription. If it was a podcast, I would have it be a subscription. It's a regular thing that you're doing. And then, you can price it whatever you want. You can say like it's $20 a month, or you can go, it's $1,000 per month. You can do whatever you want. Okay. Build every interval. Let's just say 1 month, and we'll just say it's $27 per month. I want Stripe, save and finish. And then here you can start to upload your own episodes. Obviously make sure you're in settings. In here, you can change out copyright, change out the language, description, podcast if it contains explicit content, all that kind of stuff in here. Change out your accent colors as well. And when you start posting episodes, you can just kind of start getting out there in the world, and it's all done inside of Kajabi, which is pretty amazing. So go back to all products, go to new products, and then we have coaching. So you can actually create your own coaching packages too in here. We have a single session or a coaching package. It's totally up to you. The title, coach name, package, how many sessions are included. You can decide how many you want to do. You can say 4 sessions, the title of your program, the name of you, and then you can decide if you want to do this all hosted inside of Kajabi, which is really cool. I'd highly recommend that actually. Or you can connect Calendly, and then if you want to, you can use a different tool like Acuity as well. Just make sure you put the link in here. If you don't use Calendly or you don't want to use Kajabi, and then manual booking, you can even handle it on your own. Built-in live video, or you can do custom, where you can enter a location like Zoom if you wanted to as well. But yeah, you can do this inside of Kajabi. So we'll go 60 minutes, hit continue, change out the primary colors as you please. Do our blue and yellow, and then I'm going to leave that blank. And then here you can decide how much you want it to be paid. You could say over a course of several months, a subscription, or a one-time, and we'll just say $500 for your coaching, or you can let customers pay what they want if you're just kind of getting started and you want people to just, if they have a good experience, they can pay you, and you just start accepting some money, which is pretty cool. Pick your payment. And then in here, it'll show you your clients, your package outline, where you can change up your sessions. Remember we said we wanted 4 sessions. If we said we wanted 16, it would give us 16 sessions. And this is where you can customize your sessions, the agenda, add resources for each section of your session. So like as they go through session 1, they get this outline or this template, or this audio file to listen to, whatever it is. Offers, we already created that offer. And you always click here and we can dive into the different offers. And then we have settings as well, where you can change out all this stuff, custom thumbnail, decide where you want to have your scheduling preferences, etc., etc. You can even show an upsell button after completing a session. And then last but not least, we have community. This works as having basically your own Facebook group inside of Kajabi. You get a mobile app, meetups, challenges, post feed, video recordings, live video as well. It's all inside of here. Pick a name. You can decide if you want this to be paid or a free thing that you can add inside of your inside of like your courses, just like an extra thing. If you're running a membership site, you can have an online course that comes with it, and then you can have your actual access group in here. Once you get this all in here, you can change out the settings, change out the cover image, etc. Go over to check it out. This is where you're able to run challenges with your community, have circles and little subgroups, meetups, and have announcements as well for all the people inside of your membership site or community that you decide to create inside of Kajabi, whether it's free or paid. Inside the sales tab, we have different offers, coupons, payments, affiliates as well. You can have all this stuff in here. You can create a new offer. Just like what we were doing before, you can decide if you want one or multiple different products inside of this offer. We'll just call it test for now. And you can pick up as many offers as you want. So you are limited on the amount of products you have, but there's no limit on the amount of offers that you can create. And each offer has its own checkout page, but this is one offer with multiple different products inside of it in one checkout page. Okay, so they're getting like a bundle basically. And you can hit continue, free, paid. Obviously we want it to be paid, and we'll say, get this all for $100. You get everything, save and finish. And now you have this awesome offer. And inside of the offer section is where you can change out like your checkout pages and all this kind of stuff. So like your pricing, that's down here too. If you wanted to switch this up, you can change out description, all that kind of stuff. If you want to decide to turn it into a subscription, you can do that. Okay, I want it to be on Stripe. You can offer a quantity limit or a time limit as well. And then here you can do upsells. So you can get started, create an upsell, and any checkout page or offer you have, you can add an upsell to it. So let's say that I wanted to add Drip Course as an extra upsell. Okay, so I added a little video just to show you this and kind of add some extra stuff. Basically, an upsell is like a one-time offer where after they pay for a product, they don't have to put their credit card information in again. They just get pointed to this page. It's super simple. It doesn't need to be complicated. Your video is what's going to sell whatever the upsell is. And literally, I tell them like, this is the only time I'm ever going to offer this. Okay, $97, you get the Drip Course, whatever this extra course is, or value add, or worksheet bundle, or coaching call with me. And then they can either make the purchase or they can say, no thanks, take me to my purchase. I did add a description, and if you want to add more to it, it shows you down here. So you can say like this extra module or extra course is going to give you boom, 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 boom. And you can add it all down inside of here. You can have it as autoplay, which is what I would do for the video, and then hit save, and you can customize the actual button text and the cancel button text, which is cancel, and then the button text right here. So that is upsells. And then we also have our checkout pages. And this is what the blank basic checkout page looks like. If you click up here, you can change out the color up here. You can decide if you want to have a banner or not. I usually don't have the banner. I just keep it really simple. Change out the text. Design, you can add an image down here, like your logo. This is where you can change that banner image as well. The primary color, I like to do green because it changes the actual color of the button. So it's a green instead of like blue, because green means go. I want them to purchase, obviously. You can add your hero image, where I usually put the thumbnail of whatever the course or program is. And that's going to pop the thumbnail up right here. So I'd rather do that than have the big banner at the top. It's just my personal choice. In here, we can change out the form fields if you want to get their name, their address, their phone number. You can add a custom field as well. It's totally up to you. You have to create your own custom fields. And in here as well, you can add an order bump. So this is pretty cool. If we want to just say cool course name, this course. Okay, so since we added all that information, you can have, their full name, their email address, their address if you wanted to. I usually don't do their address because it's just a digital product. Unless you were sending like a print-on-demand book or something, then that would make sense. But these are what I do. And down here, they can put in their credit card information, the phone number. Again, that's totally optional. And then right here, we have our order bump. So this course will get you X results for only $27. I made a video where I go into a lot more depth on creating order bumps, but basically like that's how you do it. You can add an order bump here. And then after they go through this checkout page, if they do their order bump, they're like, heck yeah, 27. That's going to add that 27 to your $97. And they're like, heck yeah, I get an extra worksheet bundle or something. Hit complete purchase. And then it's going to go over to that upsell page that we had created before. Another thing is inside of the page content, you can go down and actually add testimonials with a picture, a quote, and who the author is or the person who said your testimonial. And then you can add that testimonial and it's going to show up right down here underneath. So I think it's good to put like 1 to 3 really solid testimonials on a checkout page, just to kind of help people see as they're making their decision to officially do this, like, okay, there's actually value here. It's going to be worth my investment. Next up, we have coupons. So you can create different coupons for different uses inside of your business. You can add single coupons or bulk coupons, call it whatever you want, decide on the percentage of the amount off. If you want an amount, you can decide on what the amount is, USD, whatever currency you want to do, or the percentage. You can just say like 50%. And then once, if you want it repeating or forever, typically just one time. This is like what we talk about inside of someone's course or inside of your course at the end of it. When they finish the course, you give them a 50% off coupon. You can automate that so they get an automatic one-time coupon, which is pretty cool. And you can add an expiration date. If you have a launch coming up, you can add this coupon to it as well. And then right here, it'll show you, and you can add whatever offers you want to add for this coupon. You want this coupon to apply to. And right here, you can get the discount link, which is pretty cool. Okay, so automatically, if they use this link, you can copy this, paste it, and automatically they get 50% off. You see that? So you can add this to a duplicated sales page or whatever it is that you want to do. Payments is pretty much just like your analytics. You can see the transactions, subscriptions, or multi-payments, and be able to learn a lot more about your audience, what people are paying for, successful transactions over the last 30 days, more just analytics for you. And then affiliates. You can have your own affiliates inside of Kajabi, which is pretty cool. So you have an affiliate sign up link or a login link for people, and you can change up what the look and feel of it's going to be like as well. So enable self-registrations if you want. You can have a window where select how long a customer has to make a purchase after clicking an affiliate link before the referral is no longer credited. Okay, and you can decide how much time you have. But by default, it's 30 days. Create your discount. If people want to have your affiliate link, they get a discount. Like if you use Kajabi with my affiliate link, you get an extra 30 days to play with the platform, a course, coaching with me. So it's just kind of like a value add for being an affiliate. Sometimes they give us a 90-day window to use to like give people a 90-day free trial of Kajabi. So that's just like a perk to being an affiliate. You can create stuff similar to that just with your own products so people can promote them. And you can mention this and even embed these different links for people to sign up as an affiliate halfway through your course, or as soon as they finish your course, you can add a video where you explain your affiliate program and say, hey, I'll give you 30%, or I'll give you X amount for referring someone over to my course. Okay, you can see your users, commission setup. This is important. You have to pick what offers out of all the different ones we made you want to add to this, and then you can decide how much of a commission they get. 30% is definitely a generous commission. Sometimes people do 50%. It's totally up to you. I'd say anywhere from 15 to 50%, it's up to you, is a good ballpark for having an affiliate, depending on the investment that you have. You want to make sure that you make money too from it and that they also do as well. It's like the fine line of where you make good profit for having someone else refer people to your program, but they also get a good chunk of change for referring someone over to you. Okay, so it's got to be a win-win. That's what really makes affiliate marketing work. Next, we have the website tab. So by default, you're going to have streamlined home, and you can rename the template, modify code, export as a zip file. You can kind of do that. I wouldn't even worry about that stuff, honestly. If you scroll down here, we can browse different templates for your website. So you have Tailor, Prosper, Creative, a handful of different ones. And there's also the legacy templates as well that just look a bit different. Okay. These are the old school ones. They look pretty much the same. It's just the colors and whatnot and the fonts. But all these have different colors and fonts too. These, I think, look a lot nicer. I like the streamlined home. It's just simple. It's easy. But if you like this one, like Creative, If you like this like offset kind of design, you can do that. And all of the colors, the background colors, the fonts, everything can be changed. The buttons, you can get rid of these sections. These are all blocks, like an image and text block. You can get rid of all that. New courses every week. All this stuff can be updated, but it is a pretty cool design. If you don't want yellow, you can have it be blue or green or black or whatever it is that you want. Okay. Lots of different things that we can do. I'm just going to stick with the basic one that we have. And let's kind of go inside and see what customizing your website does look like inside of Kajabi. So when you're in here, you have all these different blocks, which you can change. A hero image, people are curious about that. It's just a big picture, and then you can add some text or buttons or whatever you want inside of here. And when you click on these like different blocks, you can have sub blocks inside of it. For example, we have a form, but if I wanted to add a countdown timer, you can add a countdown timer as well, which is pretty cool. I'm going to get rid of that though. If I wanted to add an image, I could. If I wanted to add a call to action, I could as well. And we can adjust the size of the call to action. You can decide if you want the button color to be something different, like red. The button text color you can change. If you want it to be full, it's going to take up all that space. Okay, so we can shrink this a bit, have it look a bit neater. And you can decide what is going to happen when people click on this button. So you can go to a landing page, a sales page, a checkout page, download a file, go to a URL, and you can put whatever link you want inside of here. You can go to a different website or to your Facebook group, whatever you want. Open up a 2-step opt-in or go to a section on the page as well. Okay, if you click landing page, you can pick whatever landing page you want. Pretty cool. And you can open this in a new tab too if you want, or you can just leave it on the same. It's entirely up to you. Solid, outline, if you want to look more like that, you can decide if you want large, small, medium. I like solid. I think it looks a bit better, especially in this. You can change out the background too. Okay, lots of cool stuff in here. Desktop layout. This is where you can add like extra padding. If I added 100, for example, it made the whole thing, the inside this block, a whole lot bigger compared to when I have it on 0. I spent so much time, I wasted so much time playing with like inside spacing. That stuff doesn't matter, okay? Just stick with the templates that Kajabi gives you and you're gonna have a good looking website, all right? But this is all inside of that hero block. See what I mean? And then over here, we can add new sections that are outside of that. All of these can have different sections inside of them as well. Okay, and what's cool about this and where it gets a little strategic is that you can actually rename these. So if you're building out a whole sales page, you can say like, this is like pain and challenges. And then this next section you can say is like dreams and wishes of what they would wish they could do. So when you have this big sales page with different blocks, you can know, oh, I know exactly what section this is, and you can rename them. Okay. Pretty cool little feature, or you can hide these sections too, and it'll show you that. You can show them if you're working on a specific section, even if it's on hide, you can still play around with it and change it as you please. And then what else do we have? Oh, you can duplicate as well, or you can delete the section just by clicking on the 3 dots and move it around however you want. Okay, so pretty cool stuff. We have our header as well. You can change up the header, the color if you want to add a sticky header, which means that it kind of like sticks to the top and it stays there the whole entire time. So as they scroll down, it's always going to have that navigation header at the top right there. All right, pretty cool. You can do an overlay where it looks like this, or just keep it normal. The background color, text color, and you can add different things right here, like a call to action. This isn't here by default, but I like to have that button at the top. So that's where you can do it. It's inside of the header section. And then down here, we have the footer, the exit pop-up. If you want to edit it, it'll show you. So this is if someone's like lands on your website, they're looking around, then they're like, I think I'm going to leave, and then they start to float away. It can pop here and say like, hey, like join our free trial, or pick up this free guide that I have, and it gets them on their email list. And then you can put a form to pick up their information, add a picture, change out the text, whatever you want. Okay. And you can enable it. If you want to edit it, you have to turn this on. And then when you're done, turn it off. Okay. But you can add different pieces here. A video is helpful. Call to action, a form, text, image, whatever you want. Same with a 2-step opt-in. Edit 2-step. So it looks very much the same, but a 2-step works a bit different. For example, if someone clicks on this button right here, I can have that button pop up a 2-step pop-up. Instead of going to a whole separate website page, they click it and then this pops up. And then you can change out the text, the form, the image, whatever you want in here. All right. Just a little bit different ways to kind of change up the look and feel of your website. Another cool thing is down here, we have home, and this is where you can navigate your home, your library, member directory, your announcements, and you can change up your 404 page. It's just an easy little tab to navigate all your different website pages that you have access to. Next up, we have pages. So this is where you can have your website pages. You can change up like your blog, et cetera, et cetera. And we can add new website pages as we please, or you can add new landing pages. And this is where you can create like a sales page, start with a blank page, turn it into whatever you want. Sales pages, you have a bunch of different templates down here. All of these are fully customizable. You can preview them, see what they look like. Just like the website pages, they work exactly the same, where you can move all the blocks around, change the text, whatever it is that you want. Podcast pages too. You can host your own podcast like I showed you and have it be like, hey, subscribe today, $29 per month. Very cool. Link in bio. This is like Linktree, but it's all done inside of Kajabi, and you can change up the look and feel of yours, add a picture of you instead of Leon Wilkes. Thank you pages, opt-in pages. Again, more templates down here. Coming soon pages too. All right. Policy pages as well. And then you also have the Kajabi legacy templates down here as well. Okay. Very customizable, easy to change and whatnot. One other cool thing is that you can actually change out your settings, which is pretty cool. Inside of whatever page, this is on your website pages as well, you can change up that favicon, or if you go to style guide, you can change out the font as well. Okay, so let's say I want to do pop-ins again, and then you can change out the line height if you want, or bold, you can make it. And let's say I want to do pop-ins again, just all around, keep it simple. Click save, and now everything is in Poppins font. All right. Pretty cool stuff. Change out the primary colors as well. It's going to change out like the buttons that you have, et cetera, et cetera. Now the button color is down to orange. All right. So that's a cool way that you can actually change out the fonts and the main colors inside of Kajabi. You also have your funnels, which we're going to get into in just a minute. But every time you build out a new funnel, it's going to show you the different funnel pages that you have, and you can access that under pages, which is pretty cool. Navigation, you can change out your entire navigation menu, what you want it to say. If you want people to go to your blog, or if you want to call your blog something else like free content, then you can change that by clicking edit, pick the page or section that it's going to go to, or you can delete it as well. Visible to logged in users only. That's cool. If you want to have like some extra resources for only people who are paying for your course, that's where you could switch this on. So if people are logged in, then they can have access to a whole new navigation menu that's only for people who've paid for your different courses or programs. Okay, and you can add different ones, add a product, add a page, or add a link, whatever it is you want to do. If you want to add a Calendly link, you can do that too. And then your footer as well, member menu, about, contact menu. And then you can have custom menus too, which I don't really dive into. I don't mess with them. Okay. I just stick with the default, keep it really simple. Kajabi has my back. That's all I know. Next up, we have a blog. So in here, you can create a new blog post. And then down here, we can add a video to the top of our blog post or an audio file. Totally up to you. If you just want it to be text, you can do just text down here. It's good to have an image. If you add a image at the top, right here is where you're going to do it. And you can also add a little bit of text, like alt text, which helps with SEO to describe the purpose of your image. And that is going to help with SEO, just like it tells you. So if your image is like, nutrition, and your blog post is about how to be healthier by eating healthier, then you can write a keyword that has a high search volume and have that in there. So it's going to help with SEO in that way. All right. Change out the post title, the content. And then down here, you have some SEO tips. So you can change out SEO and sharing. If you want to create a little customized thing, like if it was a blog about nutrition, you could just type in nutrition. So go to like mywebsite.com/blog/nutrition. And then you can copy this and you can share that to your email list or your audience, wherever. And then page title, click it right here. This is what's going to show up in search engines, and you can change out the image as well. I would recommend just to use whatever image you put here if you decide to do that. You can schedule out your blog posts too. Go out to Monday. 3 a.m. or whatever time you want to do, 3 a.m., p.m., pick a different minute, whatever you want. Okay. And then just hit apply. I'm not going to do it. Hit publish and then you're able to publish it. And you can even add tags as well to help organize your blog posts. If you made a lot of different blog posts about nutrition, you could have a tag called nutrition or one called muscle building. And then if people could click on that and it would have all your organized tabs already organized inside of Kajabi, which is really cool. Next, we have the marketing tab. So this is where you're going to send out all of your marketing emails or just your engagement emails to your email list. And we can build out our funnels as well, which is a really cool feature. So first off, we have a couple of different things to look into right now. It's going to show you your sends, your opens, how many people opened it, the percentage, how many people clicked on whatever was inside of that email, and how many people unsubscribed as well. And here you can always edit. You can get a full report, which is really nice, of an email sequence or just an email broadcast as well. And it'll just go into a bit more depth and it gives you a little like description. You can learn more about click rates, bounces, open, delivered, subscribers that are inside of this, people who unsubscribed, whatever it is that you want. And then we have draft, scheduled, sent, or sequences. So you want to just see email sequences that you've created, you click this and it'll show you all the different email sequences that you have. And then we can even manage templates as well. And these are the personal templates that you have. So if I show you real quick, we go over to new email template or email campaign. You have email broadcast, which is like your weekly email that you send out to your list, and then email sequence. So if I click on email broadcast, we have a custom template that I made. Down here, you can pick all these different templates that you want for your email marketing, which is pretty cool. And if you like one of these and you keep sticking with it, like let's say this one, the snowboard dude, you're going through, you're like, man, I really like this one. I use it a lot for launches or for just my regular weekly email, maybe this one. Then what you can do is you can click get started and start to play with it. But you can save that as a custom template, which is pretty cool, or use the classic editor as well. Just kind of basic, but I usually like this one, the simple text, and I kind of build off of that. This is a cool one. You can change out like this image, really cool, very visual, big text. Okay. And you can change all the buttons and everything, just like our landing pages. We also have like the classic editor down here. It shows again. Okay. I really like simplicity, so I just kind of roll with that. I've never actually used, maybe I used this one time because the countdown timer. But yeah, there's a lot of cool different things that you can choose from. Let's say I want to go with this one. We'll just hit test, hit create. Anytime you send out an email broadcast, you can decide who's going to receive the broadcast. That's what they want you to know. Now, I, for the longest time, just sent all contacts, but if you click here, you can decide if you want just customers, only people who have paid for courses to get a special offer. You can send a broadcast only out to those people. If you have an email sequence, you can make it so if anybody is not subscribed to this email sequence, then I want to send them my regular weekly email, but I want them to only be inside of that welcome sequence. And then down here, we have custom segment, huge list of different options we can do, from tag filters, event filters, sequence filters, coupons, offer filters. Like if they don't have any of these products, maybe you have one product that you're selling. You're like, anyone who doesn't have that product, I want to run a special offer to them so that they now do have that product. You know, you can get them inside of it, whatever you want to do. Assessments, forms, if they hasn't opened an email in the last X amount of days, like 90 days, then you can send them an email and be like, hey, I noticed you have not been engaging with my emails. I'm just checking, like, do you still want to be here? Because I'll unsubscribe you. And you can like play around with this and then hit apply. And then you can even save that segment as well. When you kind of decide on who you want to send this to, then you can move over to edit your content. And this is where you have your internal title. That's only what you see. So I usually just put the subject line. That's just what I like to do, but you can write whatever you want. The subject line is what your recipients are going to see in their email. Preview text is just like a little bit of extra on the subject line. And then from here, we can change out the actual content itself. Here we can change out the image. Okay, so this is a whole big image that you can get rid of, or you can change it around, change out the text. All right. Lots of stuff that you can do. It's fully customizable. Very much like if you want to add these sections, it's very much like the like the landing pages. And then from there, you can schedule your email. Normally it'll just say, just like the blog post, like what day, what time do you want to send this? And then you just hit send. And that's all you really do when you're sending out email broadcasts. Now an email sequence is a bit different. We can call it test, whatever you want to call it. But again, you get to pick whatever template you want. So I will just say this one, get started, test sequence. Now right here, you can decide how many days out you want this sequence to go. Typically when you have a sequence, it's usually that every day you're sending a sequence. A good email sequence is right around 5 days long, maybe 7. Okay, but about 5 days. So on day 0, if you wrote that, it'll say this email will be sent immediately after someone subscribes to this email sequence. Okay, or you can decide if it's 1 day after and pick the time, 2 days. So like you can do that for the first one. The next one, you would say 2 days. Okay, so down here, again, everything else is the same as what I just showed you. So we'll just hit save. We'll go back, and this is what your email sequences are going to look like. So you can change out some settings that you have in here. So with this email sequence, you can say, don't email subscribers who have purchased these offers, and you can pick whatever offer you want. Or don't email subscribers who have submitted these forms. And you can automatically have that sent inside of this email sequence. And then you can add automations where when someone completes this, then you can do whatever you want. You can add a tag and you can say new subscriber completed. Okay, hit save. So now you know everybody who's completed this, you know, is under that tag new subscriber completed. So they've completed that new subscriber sequence. Come over here back to test. As you can see, we have that one email. Here you can add different triggers. So a trigger can be when something happens, you want them to subscribe to this email sequence. Okay, so when a form is submitted, when an offer is granted, when an offer is purchased, you want to subscribe them to this welcome sequence for this product. Okay, you can play around with that. And then same thing with unsubscribe triggers. So when whatever happens, a certificate is sent, then you want to unsubscribe them from this email sequence. Okay, well, you can do whatever you want. Just play around with it. Report, it'll show you the amount of subscribers. But down here, again, we have one email. So what we would do, if this was a sequence, we'll say test 2, and automatically it says day 2, because the first one was on day 1. So it's automatically going to assume that you want this to be sent out the next day. And if we did another one, it would say day 3. So now when somebody subscribes to this email sequence by filling out a form or completing your course or whatever kind of trigger you set, they're automatically going to get this email sequence or this email. And then the next day, they're going to get this one. So it's automated emails that you have set for you. They can be sending whether you're working or not, which is pretty cool. Next up, we have funnels. Now, this is a really cool feature. You can create an entire marketing funnel with one click. I have a couple down here. If you ever want to delete a funnel, you can just click here and hit delete, and then it's deleted the entire funnel. Well, let me show you what you get inside of this. You have a bunch of different products. You have a freebie, which gives you an opt-in email and thank you. The sales page gives you an opt-in page, 8 emails in a sequence like we just showed you that you can fully customize, a sales page, and a checkout page. Product launch, you get an opt-in page, 10 emails, 3 value pages that pump up your product that you're selling, and then a checkout page. All right, a Zoom webinar, registration confirmation, 4 emails, 1 event, 5 emails after the event, and then it goes to a sales page and then a checkout page. If you want to have a free book, then you can go here, opt in, and then do a checkout page. It's like, yes, I want to pick up this book. And then they go to a checkout page, and then there's 10 emails that can be follow-up emails, and you can add different pages too with upsells, et cetera, et cetera. Coaching campaign goes straight to a sales page. They get 3 different emails after being on that sales page, and then over to a thank you page. And then a simple sales page is just a page and a checkout. That's it. Or if you're a bit more old school and kind of like to build things from scratch, you can always have the blank funnel, build it completely from scratch. And then we also have the legacy funnels too, where you have a couple of different options down here, like a webinar. You can click here, you get email capture, that's the opt-in page, a thank you page, a live page, the sales page, and an offer checkout. But there's no emails inside of this one. Okay, so these are the old school Kajabi pages. They've gotten a lot more sophisticated, which is why I'd recommend to stick with one of these. But let's say I wanted to use the sales page, so I'll call it sales test, and then we'll pick an offer. And I'll just say, cool course name, create the funnel. So within a couple seconds, it already built out this entire funnel that we have where we get that opt-in page, are 8 email sequences that we can click on here. It goes straight over to an auto-populated email sequence. And what's cool is that they've already added some FAQs, basically suggestions for what these emails should entail. And when you click on any one of these, they're automatically going to have text built inside of this and give you some brackets because Kajabi wants you to win. So people are loving my new online course. And if you're truly trying to achieve X, then please watch what they're saying here. Sales video, testimonials, they're telling you what's all the hype about. Okay, but I recommend to write your own copy from scratch. And they even give you subject line options as well, just like recommendations. And the goal of it, okay, this is just what they're trying to do to better support you if you're brand new, if you're very green. Okay, and then you can change up the day, all that kind of stuff like we had just went over. You can change up the visual editor as well. And if we go over to the opt-in page, you can change up this whole opt-in page. They give you describe the value, let your customers know exactly what they're opting in for and how the value will affect them. Opt-in message, you get to change all this stuff, the button color, everything. What's important here is that you have a details button too, where you can change out what the actual tab, when people are on this, they see the tab at the top of their computer, what that says. So maybe not say opt-in, maybe say like get your free guide or something like that up here. And then you can change out this too. And if it was like a free guide, you could say whatever your website is, like profityourknowledge.com/guide. And then you can make it draft published, what it looks like in search results. You can decide if you want the page to even show up in search results too. Same thing with the sales page. You can customize this however you want. You have everything over here. This is pretty much just the nuts and bolts of a decent sales page. All right. They tell you like make it benefit driven at the top, something that speaks to the desire and pulls in your audience. The big headline at the top is the first thing people read. And then you have a video where you explain like who you are, what you're doing, why people should check out your course, the benefits going to bring to them. You can have a list of different benefits, a testimonial. And if you wanted to, you could add a couple different things down here, like an FAQ section. You can add that. And you can add more questions as well, but it's like little drop downs. You can add another call to action down at the bottom and just kind of play around with it. And everything is fully customizable. I think you get it at this point. Down here, we have the offer checkout where it's for a cool course name right here. You can change out the offer pricing in this funnel. You can decide down at the bottom if you want to send a custom email, post-purchase email, the default email that they already send, or if you want no email at all, totally up to you. Automations too, like as soon as someone buys this course, then what do you want to have happen? Maybe you register them to an event, give them a single-use coupon, subscribe them to a new email sequence. Okay, you can get pretty sophisticated with this. And when you're in the full overview of the funnel, you can add different pages, a new page or an existing landing page anytime you want inside of your funnel. The next tab we have is the automations tab. So I've kind of gone through this a bit, but this is just where you want to create any kind of automation. So when something happens in here, you have a bunch of different options, like a quiz is completed. Which quiz do you want? Whatever the quiz is. Then you can grant an offer. You can revoke an offer. You can subscribe them to an email sequence, add a tag, like they completed this quiz and they passed. So you can add tags for people that have passed the quiz. All right. And then condition, this is the if. So you have when, then, if, and that's if you're on the growth plan or the pro plan, you get access to this and you just get a whole bunch more of automation. So when this happens, then this happens, but only if something here. All right. You can play around with that. Next up, we have events. So in the events tab, you can get started to create your first event. We'll just call it test. You can decide when you want this event to occur. If you're going to be hosting a live event, or if you're doing a product launch and you want to add a countdown timer, you would need to create an event. So we'll just say next Friday and it ends at 12 a.m. Okay. Time zone, pick whatever time zone you want. Repeat this event. No, we're going to say no. Hit save. And then from here, you can add different emails for whatever event you have. Totally optional, totally up to you. And add automations as well. And then you can see the registrations that you have inside of here. But what's cool about this is now that we've set up a time of when we want this to occur, we're going to hit save. And then we can even go back to our website pages. And in here, let's say that we wanted to have this sales page for the product launch that we're doing, and we wanted to add a countdown timer. So we can add a hero countdown timer, or you can just add an event countdown timer right here as well. And you can see what it looks like. So let's say we want to add that countdown, select your event. Test is the one that we made. And it's going to show you have 6 days, 11 hours, and 44 minutes to take advantage of this offer, and then this page is going to go down. And you can set it up to where the page does go down, or you just cancel it yourself. Countdown settings as well. You can change out the number color, the label color, background, the language. Okay, all of these are just different settings that you can have for your countdown timer. And you can add those countdown timers to emails as well, which is pretty cool. Down here we have forms. If you ever want to create a new form or see how a form is performing, then we can go over to submissions, and then you can see how many people have actually submitted to it, form details, et cetera, et cetera. You can decide when you build out a new form if you want it to be a double opt-in, or if you want a single opt-in where they just use reCAPTCHA in the form settings. So what they recommend is double opt-in. The reason for this is because it helps you have better quality leads on your email list, people who really want to be there, which is really important. Additional options, you can send a custom confirmation email to new contacts, or redirect contacts to a custom confirmation page if you want. And you can decide what kind of forms you want to have when people fill out an opt-in page. Okay, so if it is that you're sending a free book, a print-on-demand book, then you can obviously need their address, their city, zip code, like that kind of stuff you can add in there. Typically just name and email or just email works totally fine. All right, and then you can add an automation as well. So when this form is submitted, then you want to subscribe them to an email sequence, which one, let's say this one, hit save. So now you know with this form that you've built that every time someone fills it out, they automatically get subscribed to an email sequence. After submission 2, send a notification to your team, send the contact to a third-party email provider, and then send the contact to a custom thank you page. So you can do any one of these or all of them. It's totally up to you. And then decide on which page, pass the data to the thank you page. It's really up to you, okay? But these are all customizable inside of the form settings, and then you can always preview. Right now, it just looks like this. If you wanted to enhance this, then I would say go back to your website pages. If you want to have more customization to this, we'll go over to landing page, and then we'll click new landing page. And you can scroll down over to opt-in. So right here, you can pick on any one of these opt-in pages that you want. You can preview it, see what it looks like. If you like this one, they all don't scroll pretty much. It's just really simple. This one scrolls a little bit. If you like having a big picture, a bit more of a description than the opt-in page, or if you just want this one, just straightforward. And then you'll add whatever form you have, and it'll have email and name, or just email, or if you have email address, whatever you want in the form settings. So you'll be able to customize the image, the colors, the text, the fonts, everything like I've showed you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we have the contacts tab where you can see all the different contacts that you have on your email list. You can add contacts one by one, grant them offers, add tags to them, or subscribe them to your marketing emails, assuming that they said that's okay. And you can also import contacts if you have an email list from somewhere else, let's say MailChimp in this example, and you can upload your CSV file directly into Kajabi and send over all your contacts over. So with Insights, you can see all the different contacts that you have, different customers that you have, subscriber engagement as well, and then metrics for engagement. You can include open email data. You can see here which contacts have been healthy, if they've been active over the last 90 days, or if they haven't been active at all, if they don't even open your emails anymore. And then you can unsubscribe those people from your list and keep your list clean, scrub your list often. You can see who unsubscribed, who has subscribed recently, and it'll give you all the different data that you can use to see the health of your email list. And then down here, we also have assessments, where this is where you can basically create quizzes. Okay, so you can create a new assessment description and save it, and automatically grade the assessment as well. Passing grade can be like 80%. This is a little bit different than a quiz, even though it kind of is a quiz, the assessments versus versus the quizzes. But the quizzes you kind of add inside of your online course. Assessments are more for like if you wanted to run a survey of some kind, then you would create an assessment. And you can edit the different questions, add different questions, multiple choice paragraph, a file upload, multiple selection, or just a different section. And you can play around with this and have, different surveys that you run to your email list. And it's all done inside of Kajabi, and you can see what kind of results people gave you. And last but not least, we have analytics. This is where you get all the basic analytics for your business. You can see net revenue, subscription metrics, page views, opt-ins, product progress, offers sold, and affiliates. It gives you a quick overview over the last 30 days of purchases, net revenue in the last 30 days, and then all-time net revenue as well. And shows you a couple recent transactions. But if you click on any one of these, it's going to give you a little bit of a rundown and show you gross revenue, refunds, net revenue, different purchases, and you can decide in the analytics. It's the same way with all of the different analytics. If you want it to be last 7 days, 30 days, month, this month, last 3 months, 6 months, the year, click apply, and it'll give you the whole entire year. Okay. And you can pick day, week, month, year, all different payments. If you just want to see PayPal or just Stripe payments, you can see all of that stuff as well. Down here, each one of the different analytics that you pick on, if it's opt-ins or purchases or affiliates or whatever, it'll give you a little pie chart of the revenue that you're making based on offers, and then refunds as well if you're getting refunds. Okay, and then each one has a full layout of each day over the course of whatever time span you gave it, if it's 30 days or 6 months or 7 days or whatever it is. And each one of these, you can always print it out, or you can export the file to save if you're doing like taxes and that kind of stuff. All right, well, there you have it. That is a full rundown and masterclass of Kajabi and pretty much everything that you can do inside of Kajabi. There's different ways you can play around with stuff, and obviously you customize it to your look and feel, but that's pretty much all of the features that you have access to inside of Kajabi. If I missed any, let me know down in a comment below. And if you're thinking about trying out Kajabi, consider looking at my link down in the description, profityourknowledge.com/Kajabi. If you go through Kajabi's website, you get a 14-day free trial, but using my link, you're going to get a 30-day free trial to test out Kajabi, play with it, and really see if it is a good fit for you. And if you use my link, there's no extra cost to you compared to if you went through Kajabi's website. If you decide to start paying for Kajabi under my link, then a small percentage comes over to me to support me and this channel for referring someone over to Kajabi. And for that, I'm eternally grateful for you. But on top of your 30-day free trial, you're going to get instant access to a course I made called Kajabi Kickstart that walks you through how to set up and launch your online business in Kajabi in that first 30 days and shortcut all of the guessing and dabbling that you can do inside of Kajabi, because it is a very robust platform. I break down everything you need to know to set up a marketing funnel with copywriting, templates, online course creation, finding a product idea, everything, setting up your business. All of it is covered inside of this, and I break it all down into 5 lessons. I want it to be very compact and easy to digest, and it's all screen shares done inside of Kajabi. And inside of Kajabi Kickstart, there's a link where you can book a one-to-one coaching call with me, where I will personally sit down with you and dive into your Kajabi account, answer any questions you have about Kajabi, marketing, sales, coming up with your business idea, creating a digital product or a coaching program, or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. I will be there to personally coach you for about 45 minutes to an hour. It's my way of giving you a big hug and welcoming you to the Kajabi family so that you feel confident in using this platform and that you know exactly what to do to build out your online business. Again, there is a link down in the description. I hope this is helpful. I hope it was insightful for you, and I will see you in the next one.